Oh, we shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Well, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Wow. You know what? I could imagine, close my eyes and imagine being here one hot August day on the 28th of 1963 and experience the rush, the emotion, the excitement, the anticipation of the March on Washington. Well, later on this week, the 50th anniversary of, you got it, it is, the March on Washington. Yeah, that's right. March on Washington. You remember that annal in history. You remember that famous 16-minute speech given to you by a Atlanta minister by the name of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Everybody, if you don't remember anything else about the March on Washington, you remember that speech. You remember I Have a Dream. I have a dream that one day that, you know, that this society that we want is going to change, you know. Dr. King had a very good line. He said, America had wrote a check with insufficient funds. In other words, they made a promise of something that didn't happen. And it's a funny thing about Dr. King. He wasn't really supposed to speak that long that day at all. Matter of fact, he was last on the thing to speak. It was a march on Washington about jobs and civil rights. I mean, yeah, A. Philip Randolph there, Roy Wilkins, Whitney M. Young, Joan Baez was singing. Um, you know, this was a great event, man. This was on point. This thing was on point, man. All because Mahalia Jackson kind of urged, tell us about the dream, Martin. Tell us about the dream. You know, he was kind of like, well, go ahead, Martin, tell us about the dream. History was made. But what I want to ask family is, it's 50 years later, and has that dream been fulfilled? I know that's a rhetorical question, but I'm just asking. Has the dream really been fulfilled? Has the 50 years since that event, there's been some, we have our first African American president. Um, has, you know, things and our neighborhoods changed? Has our schools changed? Has the outlook of this great event, has it, have we changed? Really? Has any great strides besides, has the election of Barack Obama kind of changed anything? You tell me. But as you go down to the National Mall, if you're coming up, please do. Please show up. Because I mean, some of the things kind of resemble 1963, if you ask me. Medgar Evers was killed in 1963. Four little girls were blown up in the church in 1963. Well, let's fast forward 50 years. Young man named Trayvon Martin was killed by a neighborhood watch commander, not even a police officer, neighborhood watch. Another young man in Jacksonville was murdered because, check this, the man thought he was playing his music too loud in the car. And when he told them to turn the music down, he said somebody stuck a gun out the window. He said he stood his ground. Ended up killing the young man, another 17-year-old. We have the mayor of New York issuing a law that prevents police officers from stopping and frisking. I mean, yeah, 50 years too late, but, strides have been made, but then there have been missteps also. But as you go down to the mall, if you're going to go down, close your eyes for a moment and think about those things. It's kind of like the Million Man March. And I can't believe that's been 18 years ago since that happened. But here's the thing. As you remember what Minister Farrakhan said, go back to your communities and enhance your communities. Have we done that? Have we, made our communities better? Have we did anything? What made our communities worse? These are the things you ask yourself if you're going down to the march. Have we done anything better or have we done anything worse? But because I think we kind of rely on a few group of people to change things. We got to remember something. Things in this nation, or things that happen, didn't happen because a few well-known people started these things. Okay? It was just ordinary people. It's like the Word of God, the Bible. God took ordinary people and blessed them to do extraordinary things. Remember, you don't have to be a Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton or a Roy Wilkins or A. Philip Randolph or a Dr. King. If you want to make your community or your area or your place better, that's where it starts. Starts with you. I'm glad people like him. And this guy over here in the corner, A. Philip Randolph, I'm glad they had that vision. There were others, but I'm glad they had that vision to make progress, to make strides. So, like I said, if you're going down later on this week to enter the festivities of the March on Washington, think about what you can do in your community. I'm John Hall, signing off saying, we shall overcome someday. See you later. Talk to you.